And good Friday morning, coming to you live from Mansfield, Texas. Two brains are better than one, is what Drive Safe Dave said right before we went on air. Drive Safe, is that the case?
I believe it to be. I believe a collaboration is the way.
You know, how many times can you use that word? You know, he is like, what'd you re-listen to with Vanilla Ice?
You know what? I got it on the 80s. I got my Sirius satellite radio on the 80s, and it is rocking it out in the morning.
I flew into Birmingham about 3 o'clock. We made it back home last night, this morning early. And it kind of gave me the feeling of a team driver.
That's right. That's good stuff
and
there.
It also made me think, you know, is there a safer operation, and perhaps should it be less regulated operation in a team aspect than the singles?
You know what? This is the only difference, and I think so. I think both of you, one of you wasn't sleeping right at the time, but one was both of you awake at the same time?
We both were awake sometime during that. But however, I would say this is that I got tired at one point, we just switched out and she drove.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
And that's my point.
Whoa, log movement here. We got it.
Listen, when it comes to safety, when it comes to, but it's a team, it's a team collaboration, right? We got to back in there. But seriously, there are two folks in that car. You have husband and wife teams that are out there, just team drivers in trucks in general, that says, Dave, we have to put some common sense, I think, ahead of it. It says, you know what? When one of them, if they're both tired, you both pull over and sleep. It is what it is. It doesn't make it, just because you're the driver that has all the hours and you're worn out, it doesn't make it any safer. I want to make sure you understand that.
I do know
Okay, so if in fact one of you is feeling good, and not tired at all, why not make the switch if the other one is? Keep our industry moving, keep the product moving. Supply chain crisis, why shut it down? If in fact there's two qualified people in there, they're obeying safely, right? Driving when they can. Why can't that maybe get more relaxation in the law than a single driver?
Well, I'm just going to tell you, then if it's okay, if you feel good, then why shouldn't a single driver be able to drive past his 11? It's unsafe to drive, don't drive. You know why? Because we have to be the bigger person to tell the driver that, right?
That is what are we talking about here? I'm not tired. What are you talking? I'm fresh. I'm ready to go. I'm a team truck.
You have hours on your log, sir.
Within my truck, I have 20 open hours to drive within that truck.
Let's just go back to paper.
Within
Rick
the
wants
truck.
to go back to paper.
Within the truck. The big truck, right? It's pulling that big trailer, that 53-foot trailer. It has those lights on top, marker lights, clearance lights.
Yes, sir.
When that truck brakes, why don't those three lights right there, why don't they also brake? Why don't they illuminate a little bit dark, like a brake light?
Those aren't brake lights.
That's my point, but why not, though? Why not? I mean, you're talking about increasing visibility. Think about what you see out there. If there's, if there's a car behind that trailer, it's a little bit difficult to see. However, you see those three lights up there clearly. Why not make those brake lights as well?
You know what? You can do that. Yeah, go ahead. What you got, Dylan?
I was just going to say we have a caller here. We got Donald Scott on the line. Do you have something you want to add to it, Donald?
Well, I'm going to stir up some controversy today. Donald,
those three marker lights that you're talking about in the center.
Yes, sir.
Some of these trailers that we have do light up as brake lights.
There you go.
But in general, Donald, that's not what we saw. I mean, I didn't see.
It's not a requirement under the DOT standards.
And I just think, hey, Donald, don't you think, though, from a safety view only, that could only benefit all of us seeing those top lights. I mean, that's what you see at the end of the day are those three lights. Why not just have them illuminate as brake lights?
I'll agree with that completely. I've always wondered why they didn't myself.
Donald, I'm going to get behind this again. You know what? I'm out there to on my horse, as a knight to go out there and fight and find reasons for safety. And again, I'm going to say this too, Drive Safe Dave. I'm talking about team drivers only. You're going to bring it back to the single driver and all. I'm not talking about single drivers. I'm only talking about team drivers. Is that and do we have any team drivers out there that can agree or disagree with me? Any team drivers out there that can raise you were a team driver back when there was no electronic. I'm talking electronic log era.
Okay.
Everything you did back then was illegal. We all know that side. We have a team driver out there.
Yeah, we got Gerald Koenig on the line. What do you got for us, sir?
Gerald?
Talk to me, Gerald.
Okay, well, I missed your question, Rick, but throw it at me. I just signed on.
All right, so here we go, Gerald. Question is this right here: is team drivers, and I'm only talking about team drivers right now. That in my opinion, that we could create different rules for you, the team drivers, because you should drive, meaning that more relaxation in what's given to you today. If you're tired and you have your 10, but your co-partner out there is sitting there wide awake, why not just switch places and keep that truck running and running safe?
Oh, yeah, no, most definitely. I'm definitely with you on that, Rick. Yeah, if you laid back there, like me, Rick, I only sleep 6. If I get 7 hours, I mean, I've had a good night's sleep. But I'm a 6-hour sleeper, even at home. And I'm wide awake. I'm ready to go.
I'm agreeing with you, and I'm saying, why not take
let's not
it?
have any
Why
hours
not
of
take
regulations for team drivers? I mean, because that's what you're just as long as they feel good, let's just let them roll.
And we saw some crazy video, right, from on CDL truckers that it showed a four-wheeler up in Canada passing a big truck. And we're going to show this here, and watch this, and it's just crazy. I mean,
ooh.
Yeah,
Oof.
I mean, one more time.
That will make you change your pants.
Yeah, I mean, and pack your patience. And when we talk about packing your patience, first of all, when you have to choose your battles, and passing in a big truck or in a four-wheeler in a no passing zone, drive safe, that's a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely, and not only is it against the law, and because those no passing zones, as we have said before, are there for a reason. They create blind spots. There's intersections up ahead. It has shown that area is not good for passing. There are curves. Those things are done for a reason. They're designed that way. They're not just out there to impose an arbitrary no passing zone. They're actually engineered and designed so that they're done for your safety.
Our first one was the second topic we said, right? Hey, one of the best ways to avoid lane change accidents is don't make a lane change. This driver does a great job. All the things that we just talked about, right? Being courteous, being patient, right? Didn't take the right of way away, and just didn't make a lane change. Perfect. Allowed them to merge. Really great job by this driver. Look at it. And the spacing was phenomenal. This one here, again, hey, not intersections are dangerous, and not just because of vehicles. You got to watch here as a cyclist, there he goes, jumps across on a green light on wet roads. Now, the one thing I would like to see maybe here is a little slower speed by this truck. The roads are wet. You're in this business area where there's a lot of driveways. People can dart out. And then again, of course, you don't expect a bicyclist to be riding in a rainstorm.
According to Drive Safe Dave, them bicyclists can be all over the road.
That's
It doesn't
true.
matter either side of the road. It just doesn't matter.
Now, that guy took that in a dangerous spot. That is not somebody who's experienced, I'll say that much.
But great job with the space, right? And again, was going under the speed limit, so just kind of want to, the roads are wet. Remember, everything, the speed limits and all that is for perfect conditions, and we're not in perfect conditions. So maybe a little bit, if you could critique a little bit, slow down a little bit more, and be ready for this guy. We've got the good speed, we got the good space, and then we make a bad decision. Again, just be patient. Boom. Hey, you see all the traffic. There's no reason to make it that quick. Be patient. Make sure that lane is clear, that somebody else didn't dart around. When you're going this slow, it's 20 miles an hour. It is a time when people get impatient behind a truck, and they'll dart out. So make sure that you know the space around you, including the rear space. And if you're not sure, don't make that quick lane
All right,
change.
so I'm just gonna ask on this right here. So I'm going really, really slow here, and again, I'm not a big truck driver, but I'm just going off the speed of this. Isn't this more okay than, say, when you're going 65 miles and you do the same thing? I mean, that car, when you move to your left here, I mean, count the seconds: 1001, 1002, 1001, 1002. I almost think that you're almost 2-3 seconds maybe behind that, going 20. I'm asking that question, Dave. You're the big driver out there, the big truck driver. Is this the same thing we see when we're going 60 miles an hour, or is it different when we're going 10 miles an
Well,
hour.
when we're going 10 miles an hour, it is a little different, as you well know. But any quick lane changes make it a very dangerous situation for the people behind you. That's all that Bob's trying to say. Is
No, I get what. No, I'm not dismissing what Bob's saying at all. But I'm saying again, with my, when you see it out there on the road, if I had my blinkers on, which we don't know if they have their indicators on or not.
Right.
What distinguishes a quick? Just their movement looks like that.
Yeah,
Got it, okay.
Yeah, because how do I react? Well, I mean, if I'm another driver, it's difficult for me to react quickly when you've already made the move. You're almost, boom, you're already in the lane. If you just come over slowly, that's what big trucks should do. They should move over slowly into the lane.
Got it.
All right, hey, this next one again. We talk a lot. We haven't talked in a while, but protecting the emergency vehicles and the people there. And both these trucks have slowed traffic. You've seen that other truck flying on the outside lane. But these trucks have provided a safe barrier for the emergency.
I like it.
People there love this. Really got. I mean, they're slowing everything down in that lane right next to them to help protect what they're doing.
And if you're curious, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. It's good 4 seconds behind, even at this speed. Great job.
Yeah,
Great
18
job.
miles an hour. So great job, drivers. Next one, again, here's a nice smooth lane change, right? Speeds down. Plenty of distance going away from there. Just
like it.
awesome job there. And here, don't take the right of way, right? Courteous, be impatient. All the things that we've talked about this week in lane changes, he's staying perfect here and letting everybody in. Terrific job here.
Good job.
Not sure what that truck's doing, but
He has flashes
he's
on.
got his flashes on, so maybe he's disabled.
He's letting everybody know he stopped.
Yeah.
I'm just he's making sure everybody knows I ain't rolling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he stopped.
Yeah. So great job again, being patient. Here's one. Folks, there's nothing that says don't make a right turn lane, but look how busy this is. This is just kind of scary. Maybe be a little patient. And then that got a little scary there because you have to swing wide. Just, hey, situational awareness. It may be legal to do so, but that doesn't mean it's always safe to do so. So just make sure you're making them safe decisions out there. I'm not saying this driver didn't make a safe decision, but you can see some close, just scary moments there where you're out, you have to swing wide out there, and they are green. So it doesn't say don't turn red, but it doesn't mean it's the safest thing to do.
But doesn't it almost looks like we're in the turning lane or something like that?
The oncoming lane. Definitely in the oncoming lane. That's a 2-lane. That's a 4-lane road. Definitely in the oncoming lane. But you know what? There's been many times I've swung out there to make sure that I clear what's on the right. There may be a post or a telephone pole right there to my right, which makes it. I've got to do a hard button hook in order to clear that curb, right, so that I don't drag the trailer into the curb or into the pole. So it just.
I'm saying, but right here, we're definitely as far left lane as you can get on this. Meaning, it almost looks like the turning lane to turn left, right?
Oh yeah, no, we're in the right lane.
And so when you're making that right-hand turn, again, the dangers are is that the cars behind you, they sometimes will just keep going straight, or they'll keep merging on you or whatever. And I know that you're looking at this, but I saw it here myself, just up the road here, in Mansfield. One of a truck, and it happened to be one of the truck companies that's local here, made that right-hand turn, and a car just went right by him. They almost hit him, making that dangerous right-hand turn.
Yeah.
From the left-hand lane.
Yeah.
I'm saying you have to watch those things because the four-wheelers don't know what you're doing. I don't care if your indicator's on or not.
Right.
They're seeing you in the left lane. They don't have the appreciation that's going to take for you to make that turn. And you've got to be really looking out for them to make sure they're not going to scoot over there to the right and go right with you.
Yeah, dude. Put that tail back there. If you have to, put your tail in that area so you don't allow it. But let them know and be cautious. The hardest turns are right turns because that's your blind side turn. So your hardest turns are your right turns, not your left turns where you can look right down the cab, but are those right-hand turns.
Yeah, and we end with a truck fire. I just run from fire. I don't know what drivers do, but we've got one here coming. I don't know if that's the driver of the equipment, but he's running towards the fire. Is there any danger of explosion in a truck fire?
Absolutely. First of all, there's a bunch of dangers of explosion. Not only that contain fuel, but you're also talking about tires that are under 100 to 120 psi, sitting right there with rubber. That when they pop or explode, it'll sound like an explosion you've never heard. And guess what? There's quite a few tires over there. So you're in a very dangerous situation. I don't see any extinguishers. I don't see anybody, and every one of those trucks have got extinguishers. But I'm sure that 911 has been called. I hope everybody was safe and okay in that fire.
I do too. I seen the one guy at the end running towards it. I'm like, we're gonna have some great videos. Got one or two in there that right on our topic, and wanted to close with what they say is kind of use the 3 B's of lane changing, safe lane changing. And it's first one, be patient, right? And then be defensive. And what they mean by be defensive is, and we're gonna see this happen today in a video, which was great. You know, because it goes with be courteous as well. Always yield the right of way instead of take it. That is the best defensive posture you can be. You may be entitled to and have the right of way, but if you're being defensive, you're ready to yield it, right? And never take the right of way. And so that's a great way to be defensive and prevent lane change accidents.